He can't get a bus till like 5:30, and it takes him like an hour.
How you feel? Feel a lot better.
That's when
you
the
go to a
rest
doctor.
starts. And
Huh?
then we start.
You go to a doctor. I'm trying to
So
go
we probably
today.
have like
to the school today.
Yeah.
Are they good?
Not today, then
So you guys are gonna win.
tomorrow. Supposed to have an appointment this morning.
It's
Our primary.
And I'll go.
Yes.
Just down.
Well, when I go see you by the end.
I'll
Will
cheer
be
for
there
them.
Friday?
I'll cheer for both of them.
You won't be here Friday? I won't be there on
Just
Friday.
on the, oh, on the first 10 minutes.
Why?
I'm working. I already texted you. I said when it's
That's
that's
tough.
Well, I don't pay attention to the chat. I usually put the mute.
Morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You're already more lively than the first class. You're awake.
Yes, I've been so lively since I got a great night's sleep last night.
And you think it's Friday.
You know,
Actually, yeah, it feels like a Friday.
Oh, good morning. My name is Steve Korossy.
Good morning, Steve Korossy.
Marcus knows me. I coach. She knows me too. I coach here. All right. So let me ask you this. What were your thoughts of animals as children?
I love them.
Food.
Be honest. This is a very honest class. Go ahead. What are your thoughts? Just blurt them out.
They're cute. I love them.
Cheap.
Nice.
Okay, let's go around the room. What's your favorite animal?
Oh, my favorite animal?
Favorite animal.
Meerkat.
Next.
Koala bear.
Koala bear.
Cat.
Cat.
Say porpoise.
Porpoise, yeah.
Jaguar.
Jaguar.
A lion.
Lion.
It's really undecisive, but I like cats and dogs.
Cats and dogs, okay.
A wolf.
I'm sorry?
A wolf.
Can't hear you.
A wolf. A wolf.
Oh, wolf, okay, sorry. Go ahead, over there.
Yeah.
Dog.
Dog?
Yeah.
Panda?
Bear.
Bear?
Panda's too.
Dog? We already know your teachers.
Which one is it?
All right, so
Is it dog?
when you were little children, you wanted to play with animals and protect them, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Do you still feel the same way?
Yup.
Well, play with
I
them.
love animals.
I volunteer at the Pinellas County Animal Hospital, so
All right.
You do?
I
Okay,
do.
I picked up a
that-
chicken
that's so
yesterday.
I'm in the cat.
Okay, let's shift gears a little bit. Who knows about slavery?
I know about slavery.
You know there's slavery going on to this day, right? There's people in the world right now, they're being mistreated and being slaves, right?
Yes.
We all know the history of American slavery, right?
Yes.
Ownership, domination,
Yes.
profit. Now let's talk about the story you were told when you were little, that you didn't even notice you're being told. What you eat every day. Do you believe all animals deserve the same right to this world?
Yes.
Well,
Do they have the same right to breathe like we do?
Yes.
no.
No? Who says yes?
We do.
Who says no? Be honest. Who says yes? Who says no? Why?
Because we're meant to be stewards of the animals.
Stewards,
So
define
when
stewards.
Animals, like people are here, animals are like here.
So you mean like white people are up here and black people are here? That was the belief for a long
Comparing
time?
people and animal
Yeah.
species.
What's
it's
that?
not the same thing.
Slavery is domination over someone who's weaker.
Yes.
That doesn't, it's not contained to a
African
species.
Americans were not necessarily weaker than the white man. They were definitely not weaker, like physically, because of the cruel conditions they were put under to work.
The point is that man always looks to dominate those that are weaker than them, perceived weaker. The ones they can dominate
That's a fair point.
for profit. Because with power comes greed. Every day, or every year in the United States, over 10 billion land animals are chopped up. Over 18 billion sea animals are chopped up. Why? Profit. You were told a story as you're growing up. You see the advertisements. McDonald's, Burger King, oh, come to McDonald's, get a Happy Meal, we'll give you a toy. And you forgot that connection you had with the animals. You forgot that how much you loved them, how much you would want to protect them. And you don't even think about it now. Who has their phone? Let me see your phone. If every day, from the time you're little, I tell you this device here is a mango, you're going to grow up and swear it's a mango, because that's what you've been taught and conditioned to believe. I'm here to tell you to examine things and take a look at it. Is this really what we're supposed to do? The World Health Organization classifies processed meats as a Class A carcinogen, same as cigarettes. But yet, if you go on the American Cancer Society's website, they promote eating animal products. Doesn't make sense. Most people are repulsed by the sight and smell of death, right? Or no? Yeah, true or false?
For the most part.
How many people drive by an animal that was run over on the side of the road, see the body of the rotting animal, and say, I'm hungry now?
No, that's way different.
But yet, you'll go to any fast food place and eat the flesh of an animal. When I go to Publix and I go down aisle 6 to buy some rice and I have to walk down across the back of the store with all the dead animal parts in the packages, I picture what those animals went through. The suffering, the death. You ever watch any videos of a slaughterhouse?
Yes.
Yes.
It's hell on earth. If animals had a religion, humans would be the devil. I'm telling you, as you're getting older, you're seniors in here, right?
Yep.
You're getting older, you're gonna be out on your own, some of you sooner than you think. You make the choices. Right now, you're still under your parents' roof, but I'll tell you my history. When I was 8 years old, I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio. When I was 8 years old, I saw pictures of a slaughterhouse, never ate animals again. As a kid, I still ate dairy products, I had no idea what happens. Elementary school, I was one of 500 students, the only vegetarian. So you wanna talk about being different? High school, went to an all-boys Catholic high school, 2,500 boys. The only vegetarian. I heard it all. And then when I turned 21, my oldest daughter was about to be born. And I wanted to raise my children with the same love and compassion towards animals that I have. Just the basic of any religion. Treat others as you would want to be treated. That doesn't stop at just humans. So I did some research. I did some research of what goes on in the dairy industry and was horrified. Because I did not know. Like many people don't know. Because they don't put it in the happy commercials.
Nice job, Marcus.
They don't put it in the happy commercials. It's not part of the story that society wants to tell you.
They're not regulated as they should be.
So, I went vegan, and that was 23 years ago now. Raised my 3 children, vegan since birth. Daughter, she'll be 23 next month. Son, he's just turned 20, and my youngest daughter is 16. When they were 5 years old, before they started school, I showed them slaughterhouse videos.
Oh, Jesus.
Not because I'm crazy, but because I wanted to show them why we don't eat animals, but everybody else around them will, because they don't know.
How old are they?
5.
I mean, that's not really giving them the option though. I was gonna say wanted to.
You know,
I mean, I understand like your beliefs and where you come from, but showing them at that young age could traumatize them to not. I feel like that's not really fair to them to give them a chance.
now
But based on what you just told me, why would you want to hide that? If that's what we're told you're supposed to
there's
do.
hiding things and there's
So, like,
discretion.
You can tell
about
them there's
being-
100 seconds in a minute, they can leave.
You're
Remember,
not just gonna tell a 5-year-old to like watch porn.
correct, correct.
Yeah, so you're not
But-
gonna like show a 5-year-old like Deadpool necessarily either, or like any rated R movie.
Like, I can show them like an ice bag.
Correct, you control it, but you gotta remember,
I mean, as
when they
you're
step
the-
out of the house, where they were home every day, then they're gonna be around everybody else,
Very true.
right? And everybody else is gonna be influencing them to eat the bodies of animals, and the fluids of animals.
Well, unless they meet people like you.
Correct.
There's-
But remember, when my kids were young, it still wasn't popular. Now it's cool to be vegan, a lot of people are vegan. And let me clarify, vegan is not a diet. Vegan is a philosophy about the animals, that they have the same right to this world. So we don't eat their bodies, we don't drink their secretions, we don't get furniture or clothing wrapped in their skin, i.e. leather or wool or silk. A lot of people think it's hard. It's not hard. Especially nowadays. You can go into Publix or any store, Publix, Target, Walmart, anywhere, and you can get the same foods that you're used to having every day. Same smells, textures, tastes, without the cause of death. It's a matter of going into the store and getting this product or this product. Because it's in there. Plant-based foods are skyrocketing. There's dairy companies going out of business because of how popular non-dairy products have become. You know, I hear this all the time, lactose intolerant. Well, of course you are, you're not a baby cow.
Mm.
Do you know that, why do cows produce milk?
Feed their young, just like every other mammal.
Very good. You'd be surprised, a lot of people tell me that they just produce milk. Cows are just like humans. They're artificially inseminated in the dairy industry. They're strapped into a device commonly known as a rape rack. They're injected with bull semen, they get pregnant, and then they carry that baby calf to term for about 9 months, similarly to humans. Then they give birth, the day that calf is born, baby's taken away from them. Because the industry doesn't want baby drinking her mama's milk. They want to suck that milk out of mama to put into jugs at the store, making the cheese or ice cream. Profit. And then if that baby's a female, they're cycled into the industry. If they're a male, they're locked up for about 3 months in a dark room, and then they're chopped up. That is veal.
Not necessarily a dark room, sometimes they'll have them out in little.
Yeah, but they're mostly in dark because it's to make their meat lean and tender.
Well, that's the veal industry.
Right.
Now, some farms don't necessarily sell the baby males to the veal industry, but of course that ends up happening through the back.
But again, we're talking about other beings who think, feel,
They do
taste.
not think or feel like we do.
Dog-
They have a higher,
dogs and cats don't think.
they don't have a higher functioning brain than we do,
How do you know?
because it's proven.
So their eyes do the same thing to see, their nose to smell.
Do you see dogs doing math problems?
That doesn't make you more intelligent.
That does make you more intelligent.
Really? Humans cause the most destruction in the world. And this is all good discussion, I want these discussions. Humans cause the most destruction to this world. So as intelligent as humans think they are, they're really not, because they don't use that
Well, see,
intelligence.
that's where the egotistical people are doing. They're like not thinking about other things. They're thinking about their own profit, their own gain. So by destroying a forest, they can make a mall. They can make more houses,
More
for
profit.
people. So
Right.
more expansion,
Right, more
which
profit.
for humans as a species is better, but not for the environment and the rest of the world. And in the end of the day, the humans will end up either if we deforestize the whole world, we're gonna die because we don't have any oxygen. But again, the more forests we take out here, there's gonna be other forests growing up there, or the trees are gonna become more efficient at producing oxygen with the more higher CO2 levels. It's just proven as we've gone from different climate levels and there's.
So you care about the environment, right?
Yeah.
You recycle? Who here recycles? You know the biggest polluter of our environment is animal agriculture?
Yep.
From the waste of water to the byproducts, the feces getting leached into the water supply from the factory farms. The hormones, the steroids that the animals are injected with, and the antibiotics that gets leached into you secondhand because it's in their system. I get this all the time. Where do you get your protein? Where does the gorilla get their protein? Or the elephant, or the gorilla? Plants. Or the cow, many other animals. Plants. And you know what happens when your body gets too much protein? You know where it ends up?
Plants.
The toilet. That's a joke. Because your body can only take in so much protein. There's many people, many athletes even, like that are going plant-based now because they realize the health effects. And that's fine. I don't care why somebody changes. And I realize that 99% of the people I talk to won't change what they're used to because it's comfortable. They don't want to be different. But my goal is to reach out to the 1% that's willing to change. Because there's nothing I can stand here today and tell you that's going to make you change what you're doing. I can only show you the truth. I can awaken you. And then if you have it within yourself to make that change, then you'll make that change.
I have a question.
Yes.
That'd be stupid.
No, there are no
So
stupid
you
questions.
say that like animals are no different from us, right?
Right.
Animals hunt animals.
Correct.
We're no different from us.
For survival.
Okay.
Like a lion will lay down next to a lamb as long as they're not starving. So, and this is where I agree with him. I think we are on a higher plane with certain things. But that doesn't make us, it doesn't make us, our lives more valuable. Just like my life isn't more valuable than somebody
It makes
who's,
us more responsible.
well,
We have
correct.
to be more responsible.
correct. Because it's like, if we're gonna say that intelligence measures your justification to live, let's kill off all the retarded children because, hey, they're not as smart as us. No, we show compassion. We show compassion to those who are less fortunate, whether it be people or animals or anything else. And you guys have with things. So there's a lot of documentaries. There's What the Health. There's a new one called Game Changers on Netflix with Arnold Schwarzenegger's in it. And it talks about the health aspect of a plant-based diet. But the World Health Organization classifies processed meats as a Class A carcinogen, like cigarettes. But yet, it's promoted on the American Cancer Society's website. Because in this country, they want to teach you bad habits and you'd be addicted to food, to certain foods. Then over time, you start exhibiting disease. And then they give you medications to mask that. Yeah. McDonald's, Burger King, Outback, Longhorn, you know, all these fast food places, and then, hey, you have high blood pressure, take this medication.
You have a statistic showing this?
What's that?
The carcinogens based on.
Go to the World Health Organization's website. That's what I'll direct you, World Health Organization. And then they give you medications to mask the disease. It's a business, it's profit. So
Medications don't mask a disease, they treat the disease.
No, they mask the symptoms of disease.
They treat
Because every medication has severe side effects in the small print.
Yes, well, not severe necessarily.
It depends.
Depends on the.
There's side effects that they don't even know. Like I'll tell you, for example, fluoride. Fluoride, it says on the FDA, fluoride, do not ingest. Yet they put fluoride in your water, in your tap water.
Very small.
So let's say you drink 10 glasses of water a day, and I only drink 4. You're getting a lot more. And science has shown that fluoride, consumption of fluoride reduces IQ points. It dumbs you down.
Well, depends on, my liver's just gonna take more fluoride than your liver.
Right. So, think about it. Be awake. Know, when you go through life, you gotta know. Gotta know what you're doing. And treat others the way you want to be. I have, before you guys leave, I have cards on there. If you guys want any sources, you can go to the website. So now we're gonna switch gears a little bit. Careers. Who's got a plan? Anybody? No plan?
I'm gonna go into the dairy industry.
Any plans after high school? You gotta start
I know
thinking.
you guys have plans.
You gotta start thinking, you're almost there.
No, exactly laid up perfectly.
Third and fourth quarter are gonna be, we're in the second quarter, third and fourth quarter are gonna blow by you. What's your plan?
Trade school.
Trade school for what?
I wanna go to the electrical program.
Good. Anybody else?
I just want to be happy. No, I'm serious though. Like, I don't care what job, I just want to be happy.
I'll tell you this. School doesn't teach you about money, because they don't want you to know about how money works. Money is a tool. In this life, in this society that we live in, you gotta have money, right? Unless you move to the mountains and live off the land, you gotta have money to buy groceries, to buy your basic essentials. The extra stuff is having a car, all that stuff is extra. But you gotta have a plan. You know, they don't teach you about school, or they don't teach you about money in school, because the system needs people to be employees. They need you, as people growing into the system, to work for them, so the rich people can make more money. Why don't you make money for yourself? What's that gonna require? To be a self-starter, right? Yes.
So, I went to the World Health Organization. They
Okay.
said the recommendation of not eating red meats based on the epidemiological studies suggesting that small increases of the risk of several cancers may be associated with a high consumption of red meat or processed meat. Not that it is.
You know why
it
they
may
don't?
be.
Because if they tell you it is, they'll get sued by the industry. Just like Oprah Winfrey, when she brought up the issue back in the 90s on her show, because she's so influential, the agriculture industry sued her. You don't have to believe me. You can do your own research.
So why would she just back down?
Because they sued her.
Yeah,
Money, profit.
she can fight it in court.
I will tell you right now, for anybody that sits here and tells me that there's justice in the justice system, I worked in law enforcement for 15 years. There is no justice in the justice system. It's another system to get lawyers rich if you are from a rough area, if you don't have money, you get screwed. I will tell you firsthand. I was the one that was different in law enforcement, where I tried to make a difference. But the system doesn't want that. They want turnover, they want profit. You think the cop on the highway that gives people tickets, you think he doesn't speed? But yet he gives you a ticket for speeding, right? Hypocritical. Think about it.
It's his job.
It's his job, but you gotta live by example. When I used to have a buddy who knew this guy who worked on another department, and in his department, he had the most DUI arrests. He was getting awards from Mothers Against Drunk Driving for the number of DUI arrests he was getting.
Yes, he probably drove drunk.
Yep, after shift, he would go to the trunk of his car, open the cooler, grab a beer, get in the car, and drink a beer driving home. But yet, he's giving people tickets and ruining their lives over DUIs. You gotta live by example. That's the problem. There is no justice in the justice system. Lawyers do not have your back. Lawyers want your money. As soon as the money runs out, they drop you like you wouldn't know any different.
Depends on the lawyer you get, just like.
You know how many people are sitting in jail that are innocent? Now, of course, every criminal will say they're innocent, but there's a lot more people in jail that are innocent or were framed, because I'll tell you, I'll give you my example with other law enforcement guys. They were too focused on getting the bad guy and forgot common sense.
Congratulations, you found out that the human race is inherently evil.
Yeah.
It's a
So
problem that we cannot fix.
You can fix it because you're the next generation. You can't fix it like this.
I mean,
but
just
you can
like
slowly
you told
change it.
yourself you could not fix, like, you could only try and lead by example as a law enforcement officer. Each of us individually cannot just change everyone.
But you can change the world around you.
You can give out talks like this.
You can change the world around you. You can make a difference. I'm not getting paid to be here today. I came here to talk to you guys.
Thank you.
I coach here. I don't get paid to coach. I'm here every day. Sometimes 8 hours a day. Right now in basketball season, I don't get paid to coach. I'm here to make a difference, and that's what you guys should do. And when I started coaching, you know when I started coaching? I was a freshman in high school, and I've coached ever since. So I couldn't even tell you how much hours I volunteered for that. Why? It's not about the sports. I love sports, of course, but it's about to make that difference, to be that positive influence in somebody's life. Because sports teach valuable life lessons, from winning, from losing, from growing, facing adversity. So again, back to the question, what's your plan? You're either gonna go work for somebody else, or you're gonna start your own business. And to start your own business, because right now I run my own business, I do home inspections and locksmith. I started my own business, right? I don't make a ton of money yet. It's just starting. And it's competitive. Most businesses fail. But money is a tool. Money is a tool to get you through life. If you work for somebody else, you get this much, and they get this much.
So, were there any certifications or anything that you needed in order to start your own business in these fields?
It depends. To become a home inspector, you had to take a 120-hour course and then pass a state exam.
As a business owner, you know the costs that go into funding your own business.
Of course.
So
You start
you
small.
know that the guy who's paying you, like, are you talking about just like a business in general? Like you said, you go work for someone else, you make this much, they make this much. They started a business, therefore,
Correct.
if you start your own business, hire employees underneath you.
Correct.
Should you not be making more money than they did?
Correct,
since
but you ever heard the
risk?
phrase, the rich get richer and the
It's
poor
true.
get poorer? It's true. So if you don't have a plan, number one, everybody will tell you, go to college, go to college, go to college. Why? Because it gives you a start. I'm here to tell you, you don't have to go to college. If it's not for you, go to a trade school.
You just gotta have a plan.
You gotta have a plan. You can't sit at home the day you graduate, spend the summer horsing around with your friends. Yes.
This is just a side note. The guy that he wants me to work for him, he recommended getting a degree in business first and then going to trade school and completing my certification
You can.
for cause he wants to train me so that I can go make my own business.
I'm a fan of learning by doing. I'm not a fan of sitting in a classroom. For me, I rather teach myself. So yes, I need a certification to become a home inspector, but I also needed all the years of doing projects and fixing things that I taught myself to know. I think somebody going in brand new that doesn't know anything about the way things work to get a certification as a home inspector is gonna be very difficult. You have to know the system. You have to know how this system works in a house and this system works in a house. But you gotta have a plan. You know, I saw some of the alumni last night. We had, for basketball, we had the alumni game for scrimmage. Some old basketball players came and played against the current varsity team. A lot of them, they don't have a plan. They just kind of kicking time. You gotta take every day as a chance to do something different. But you gotta do it. So to start a business, the biggest thing you need to start a business is passion. Because at first, you're not gonna make money. You're definitely not gonna make money. But if you keep your head above the water, slowly you start building. Let me give you an example. A lot of people make money in real estate. You don't make money from buying a house. So let me give you an example. You buy a house, right? You rent it out to somebody. It's your mortgage. Everybody know what a mortgage is? Basically your payments on a house, okay? It's the loan from the bank, pay for that house, and then you gotta pay the bank back. But if you buy a house for $100,000 and you're paying them back to the bank over 30 years, by the time you're done, you're paying over $200,000 for that house. But anyways, you put somebody in that house. And let's say your mortgage combined with your property tax and stuff is $1,000. But let's say you put somebody in there to rent it for $1,300. So every month you have a $300 that you're making. Not really, because you're gonna have expenses, but roughly $300. Now let's say after a while, you get another loan for another house, and you start doing that. Pretty soon you got 10 houses and you're making $3,000 a month. Then when those houses get paid off, it's all profit, essentially. A lot of people get rich in the real estate. A lot of people get in, they buy a property cheap. That's why the housing market crashed in 2008. A lot of investors and rich people went in and bought up all the houses that are foreclosed. And now the value went up greatly, and they got rich. So you gotta have a plan. Whatever you like to do, you know, you hear this, you have to do what you love. Sure, you have to learn, especially as young people, you have to get out in the community and you have to learn. You have to learn things, you have to learn an industry. But then, go do it yourself. Because if you spend the rest of your life working for somebody else, you're gonna be working for somebody else. You're never gonna make enough money. You're always gonna be strapping for bills. You're always gonna be frustrated. You're gonna have those downtimes. They say the majority of people can't, if they lose a paycheck, they're gonna lose the place they live. Why? Because society has made it to where we have to have a car to go to work, we have to have cell phones, we have to have this, that, and that. We don't have to have those, but everybody thinks they have to have those. What's your plan? No, don't look away. What's your plan? Architect? Good. How about you?
I don't know yet.
Probably an engineer.
Okay.
Trying to be a nurse.
I'm sorry?
I'm trying to be a nursing.
Nurse, okay. Why?
Because I love helping people and like take care of them.
You know it's wiping a lot of poop as a nurse, right? I have family members that are nurses. They wipe a lot of poop.
Doctor, so,
What's that?
my dad's a doctor, so.
Yeah. Shoot for a doctor. You have to wipe less poop. Go ahead.
I'm not sure yet.
Don't know? How about you?
Either medical school, computer science, or video game design.
Which one of those do you really want? Which is in your heart?
I mean, I'm a big fan of gaming, but if I can get into game design and maybe get into like a company that's like really good on gaming, then there may be.
Computers are the future. Go ahead.
Don't know yet.
Don't know? How about you?
An estimator for construction.
Okay. And we already know you want to get into the electrical. Marcus, how about you? I know you want to love people and be happy.
Probably like sports medicine or sports medicine. I don't know college.
How about you?
Electrician.
Electrician?
Pharmaceuticals.
Pharmaceuticals. Whatever you do, you have to put your heart into it. Just like in school. I know you guys are seniors and you're probably just looking to coast. But I went to an all-boys Catholic high school. It was a really good school, college prep, tuition, everything. I didn't put my heart into it in high school because I didn't want to be there. I went to an all-boys Catholic high school. I wanted to be with girls. I was a teenager. I wanted to be in a combined co-ed school. So you know what I did? I sat in the back of the room with my head down most of the time. I didn't take advantage of that opportunity. But when I went to the police academy at the age of 26, I was second in my class because my heart was in it. So whatever you do, you got to put your heart into it. In the real world, your life, you're going to go through problems. Every day it's going to be a different set of problems. Some days the problems are going to be mini. Some days the problems are going to be big. But you got to stay on top of them. Because if you start putting them off, especially now, let's say you put off your schoolwork, no big deal, right? Just get a bad grade. But in life, you put off your little problems, and they build and build and build and build, and that stress, and that wears on you, and it affects your health, it affects your relationships. So you gotta just stay on top of stuff. Not everybody has to have a type A personality, but you have to have a basic structure of what you're gonna do in life. Stay on top of your problems, you have to have a plan.
Use your planners.
You know, I put pretty much everything in my phone calendar. Some people still use a paper calendar. Whatever you do, just put it down, and then you don't forget. You gotta have a plan. Who has questions? You've been quiet. What's your question? I'm picking on you.
Like, did you tell us more about your business?
Yeah. Basically, what I do is, let's say somebody's going to buy a house. Okay, so after they make an offer to the seller on the house, they want to get a home inspection to make sure that there aren't surprises, like all kinds of problems in the house. So I'll go in and I'll systematically check every system in the house: the roof, the exterior, the pool, electrical, plumbing, the roof, everything. And I'll take pictures, I'll take notes of what the problems are, and then I'll put together a report. And then I'll send that to the buyer. In most cases, I'll send that report to them, and then they'll know. I might mention some things as a minor issue that, hey, this is something you might want to pay attention to. And then there's some things like, hey, this outlet's not working, you need to it needs to get fixed, or this is broken, it needs to get fixed, or the roof's about to cave in, whatever the circumstances are. And then the buyer then has that report and can go back to the seller and say, hey, there are these problems, I want them fixed before I buy this house, or take more money off the house. That's kind of how it works. I've done re-inspections too, because sometimes when you get a loan, there's three main types of loans that you can get when you buy a house. There's a conventional loan, which is usually 30 years, sometimes 15, but usually 30. Traditional 30-year loan. You'll pay an interest rate of probably right now around 4%. Then you have a VA loan and an FHA loan. The VA and the FHA loan are backed by the federal government. So you'll pay, if you don't have 20% down for down payment, you pay what's called PMI. It's an insurance that you pay extra, just in case you don't pay, you can't afford your mortgage, then you lose the house, but that insurance backed by the federal government will pay for that house, so the bank isn't out of the money. So you have that. And then so for the VA and FHA loan, they're more strict with the home inspections. Like, they're big on safety. So if electrical's not working, or there's a plumbing issue, or like a stair is loose or something, they're really picky. Conventional loans, they really don't care. Conventional loans, it's more the buyer wants to know, hey, I don't want any surprises. I don't want to go in and have termite damage under the house. So it's pretty laid back. I like it. I can still get in contact with people. The biggest difficulty that I find, because I'm fairly new, is generating business. But let me give you an example. I'm signed in with Home Advisor. Home Advisor is a company that people call if they want certain things done. So like, let's say somebody contacts Home Advisor that they want a home inspection. Home Advisor will send it to like 3 different inspectors. And then you gotta call the customer, and you probably only got a 1 in 3 chance of landing the job, if that. But each time they send me a lead, they charge me usually $40, sometimes 50. So sometimes the person just has a question. That costs me, that's my overhead at $50, boom. Then there's insurance that I gotta pay for. I have to pay for the invoicing software. I have to pay for an organization membership to be a home inspector. I have to pay for the report software. So there's a lot of overhead, but I'm managing. What I like about it is I work in my own schedule. Like if I work for somebody every day at a traditional shift, and I did that for many years, I couldn't coach as much as I would want because I'd be stuck in that schedule. Now, I schedule my inspections around my coaching and then kind of balance. So you have more freedom when you work for yourself, when you have a business. And you can you start your own software company. Is it hard? Hell yes. I'm not gonna blow smoke. Hell yes, it's hard. Hell yes, it's gonna be challenging. Hell yes, you're gonna have to work your ass off a lot harder than if you work for somebody else. But it'll be more rewarding, you'll be more invested, and you're doing it for yourself. Don't think that you wanna grow up and be an employee. Think that you wanna go up and be that business owner. But don't make money your only focus. Because pretty soon you're gonna wake up, you'll be 70 years old and say, shit, what did I do with my life? When you're on your deathbed, you're not gonna say, geez, you know, I wish I would have worked more in my life. No, it's gonna be, I wish I would have spent more time with my family, my friends, I wish I would have traveled more. So work, but live. But you have to have a plan. Some of you guys, you look around this room. I remember guys I went to high school with, nope, they're struggling because they didn't have a plan.
Yeah, I know a lot of people, we still live in the same area. I went to Seminole High School. I know a lot of people who didn't really have much of a plan after, and now they're about 26 and they're working a job that they hate. And they're not really sure how they can get out of it because now they're living on their own. They can't afford to go back to school. So they're kind of stuck in this job.
I will tell you, if you're gonna get into anything, obviously specialized things, nursing, doctor, certain specialized fields, you gotta go to college. That's just the way the system's set up. You gotta go, you gotta learn these things. But if you wanna get into a trade school, get into a trade school. They said, yeah, get your business degree. You need to learn how to do the business first. You have to know what you're doing. Maybe you don't like it. Maybe you get in there and you don't like it. Remember, college, here's another enlightenment for you guys. When you go to college, it's not like high school. Their goal is to weed you out. Like SBC, their graduation rate is like 33%. They're there to weed you out. Your teacher here might give you a chance after chance, retake after retake. In college, you fail a test, you're screwed. You don't turn in an assignment, you're screwed. They don't care. Professors get a nice pension, they get a nice salary. They don't care. They're there to weed you out. They're there to get you to quit. That's why a lot of kids go off to college, do a big school, they party, and then after the first year, they flunk out. You don't hear about that too often, do you? That's the reality of it. You gotta learn to do, you gotta have it within yourself. As fun as it is, and you should, if you go to college, you should experience the college life. I mean, that's why you go. But financial sense, it makes more sense, unless you're getting a full ride, go to SBC for a couple of years. Knock out your core classes. It's a more confined class. You have to knock out your college classes anyway. You know, you can work a little bit because the workload isn't as demanding. Then transfer to a big school. But I'm not scaring anybody not to go to a big school to start off, sure. But I just want you to be aware that it's not like in the movies. A lot of people flunk out. A lot of people go out partying, stay out late, and then they can't get up for class.
That's why using a planner and having a study group plan is really essential to being successful in college if you're going to a big school.
You should have a planner for life. Just everyday stuff. Okay, this bill's due this time. This I gotta do this time. Because otherwise, life's gonna come on you real quick. And you're gonna have to try to figure out, holy shit, how can I keep all this stuff together? My son's experiencing that. His first year in college, and you hear how I am. I'm like that with my son. Planner, get this done, get that done, blah, 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 blah. He didn't want to listen. So he goes to college. He was in a world religions class. And he knew at the beginning of the semester that his midterm was to create his own religion. He had to do a write-up on it. So he knew for a couple months that he had to do this. You know when he started it? The night before. So he hands it to me to read over, and I look at it, I said, do you want my honest answer or do you want the warm and fuzzies? He says, your honest answer. I'm like, it sucks. I said, this is an F. You wrote a religion based on LeBron James being the god of the religion, and it was like one page, had no freaking detail whatsoever. So I chewed his ass for about an hour, and I told him to go fix it. So he goes back to work at it for another 3 hours. Now it's 2 in the morning. Then we read it. I help him tweak it a little bit to make it better, and he gets an A on it. You know what I told him? Sure, you could maybe do minimum and get through college. But why just do minimum? You get out of college what you put into college. You get out of life what you put into life. So if you're only going to do half-ass, don't ever expect to get more than half-ass out of it. And there's sometimes you're going to work your ass off and never get back what you think you put into it. That's okay. Just work hard. Always work hard. And every day, you know, I don't know how you guys are with your family, but, and you guys are an age probably still where you think you're invincible and nobody will ever die. But your previous generation is going to die out before you will in most cases. So you got to show them the love and the respect, because you wouldn't be where you are if they didn't do what they did for you. Nobody's perfect. So I'm sure you have complaints about your family members, parents, guardians, extended family. But you will have relationships in your life that will fail. That's okay. Because it should always make you grow. Everything that you do should always make you grow. And by, just like in sports, winning and losing, there's valuable lessons from both. When you fail in life, and everybody will fail, I promise you, you will grow. Don't let it ruin you. Because what is the old adage, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger? It's true. You don't feel that way when you're going through shit, right? You really care for somebody, they break up with you, and your world comes crashing down. And everybody tells you it'll be better, it'll be better. Doesn't matter when you're going through it, right? Because it hurts. So it's okay to feel bad. It's okay to be upset. But slowly come out of it. Find something to keep your mind busy. Unfortunately, I'm divorced. You know, 3 kids divorced. It wasn't my idea, because I'm not about divorce. We started dating in 94, first kid 96, second kid 99. Got married in 02, third kid in 03. And in 08, she decided she didn't want to be married anymore after being together for so long. After 3 kids. And I tried 2 months short of 3 years to try to work it out. Begging and pleading, let's go to counseling, let's work it out. But she didn't want to, because she was lazy. I wasn't perfect, but she was lazy. And now, our kids, my kids tell me how much it hurts them. It hurts them more than it hurt me, and it hurt me real bad. It was the toughest time in my life. So you're gonna go through shit in life. That's the reality of it. It's how you handle it that'll separate you. Marcus knows, basketball, we've lost some close games. You learn from it, and you build on it. Questions? Heavy. How much time do we have?
I think we got 4 minutes.
4 minutes. Can somebody kill the lights in that corner? I meant students, not teachers. This is a little graphic. If you don't want to watch, you don't have to. Just 3 minutes long.
I want you to live in peace and love all of God. I want you to live in peace and love one another. And I have made all animals in the world for you. And since I've made all the animals for you humans, I want you to torture them, kill them, and eat their flesh in my name.
Thank you for your attention. Be the change you want to see and have a plan. There's cards on the back corner on the table if you want to grab one on your way out. Yes.
I think I know who your son is.
Yeah?
His name's Steven.
It is, yep.
Yeah, I know who he is.
Yep.
He came here like 2 years ago.
Yep, he graduated 2 years ago. Well, a year and a half.
Yeah, I had him in my Spanish class in my freshman year.
Yep.
I just texted him. He's like, hey, I think I know who your dad is. In the classroom. He used to love coming to my mom's restaurant a lot, like a couple of years ago.
Oh, was that you guys the one that closed down?
Bangkok, Tokyo?
Yeah. You guys closed down almost. I'm like, where the hell did everybody
My mom
go?
used to work there before the hurricane.
Yeah, I remember.
And all the food got all ruined from the hurricane.
Yeah. We went there one day and it's like gone. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, it used to be a really good restaurant.
Yep.
He used to love that place. Like, he'd go all the
Do
time.
you keep in contact with him, my son?
Yeah, I think I just texted him. He's like, I'm like, yeah, your dad, my dad's at your school. And I was like, that's cool. It's like, I thought it was familiar.
Yep, that's it. Good.
How's he doing?
Good. He's going to SVC. He's in his second year and now he works at Florin before and over on Drew and 19.
Good, it's really nice.
Yep. Yeah, keep in contact with him.
Nice meeting
You too. Nice seeing you. Take care.
You too.
Tell your mom I said hello.
Alright.
Where is she working now?
She works at a lot of different Thai restaurants because she speaks a lot of Thai. So whatever country or restaurant that is involved in Thai, she works there. Like Blue Sake is one of them. She works there a lot now. And you know where Tom Yum is? Like by the
No, I usually go to for Thai. I go to Veggie Thai over in Largo.
Oh no, she doesn't.
I go there. They have a lot of vegan stuff.
If you go to Blue Sake by Subway, that's where she works.
Blue Subway.
Come on, Main Street.
Okay. Sounds good. Tell her I said hello.
Alright, thank you.
Take it easy.
If you go there, you'll probably see her like on the weekdays.
All right.